Hello, hello. How are you guys doing? So, today. I mixed those two up. All right, so it's Friday. Let's get the last today command. Adam is typing this up now. There. You had the Twitch notification before it went live. Weirder things just keep happening. To answer your question, so questions regarding the botland work and questions about the job hunt. So, questions regarding botland work. How do we do this? We press this button. We copy a link somehow. That's how. I think we could just do it this way too. Headings. Here we go. And job hunt. Okie dokie. Yeah, I made some progress yesterday. I don't feel like it was a whole lot. Okay, so botland work. We're just going to split this into a bunch of questions. What are you migrating to? Why are you migrating botland? What else? What else? What else? Yeah. Short answer cost. It's $300 a month on AWS. This was never an issue before because I was focused on making the game successful, and 300 would have been a drop in the bucket if it turned out that way. Now how Hardman is playing, it makes sense to spend the time migrating it. Azure, the reason why is solely because a kind viewer gave me roughly 75 to 100 a month in free credits. So there's no way for it to cost any money. Is there anything else? Why not just retire the game? So there are still roughly 250 to 300 people coming to the game every week. Those numbers are very low for a game like this. Is there music playing? What was that? Am I just hearing things? Oh man, I think I am. Wow, weird. Anyway, hey Vern, AC17R. And Walshy and reformulate and Jack. Yeah, I think I just totally made that up. Those numbers are very low for a game like this, but I still want to keep it online just to point at it from time to time. I'm proud of the work that I did on Botland and would like it to. And I've got the free time now, so I may as well work to keep it. Also, yeah. Okay, there we go. C17R is coming through the stream. It looked like that. Oh, weird. Strange. Interesting. Okay, so there's that stuff. So what's going on? Have you made a decision? So I won't be able to make a decision until Google gets back to me about the team matching phase. This will probably take a week or two. In this phase, a bunch of hiring managers reach out with their openings and reach out with what their team is about, and we both have to make sure it's a good fit. Okay. I think that's it. I think those are the questions people have been asking repeatedly. And I boiled this down to just 4 of them. So I hope this helps quite a lot because I'm going to get these same 4 questions repeatedly today. I'm going to try to keep today's stream to just 4 hours. One thing that was a mistake about yesterday is that the afternoon is just way too hot in this room. And the only way to cool it down is to turn on the AC, which then means I need the window open, which I don't like streaming with it open. Yeah. Halo day. Okay, well, we've got the document, so I'm good on that front. Now, the other thing I realized, I finally went back and I looked into what date did I start streaming. And the date I started streaming was 9/8/2015. Oh yeah, I should probably say there's no. Let's fix this up. Okay, there will be no stream on Monday, but the 5-year stream anniversary is on Tuesday. Adam hasn't planned that day yet and is open to ideas. There we go. Yeah, so today's stream, maybe about 4 hours. Monday, 0 hours. Tuesday is a big question mark. And then the rest of the week is probably going to be any other migration tasks. That's my guess. Will there be punch and pie? There could be. So this is the plan. I think I talked about the rest of this stuff. I don't think I want to talk about this too much. I did want to add this quote. Quote add. No, wait, it's add quote. There we go. Tuesday idea, normal 4-hour stream migrating bot land. What I was kind of debating on is it's the 5-year anniversary, right? So what if I did an hour each of different things I streamed over the years? So it'd be like hour number 1 would be migrating bot land. Hour number 2 would be learning something. I don't know. Hour number 3 would be piano. 4 would be some kind of game. Hour number 5 is just chatting. I don't know. I don't like this idea at all. But thematically, it's very sound. So, yeah. Okay. Hey, Professor. Do you know Windows well? I wonder if you're familiar with the way contextual menus work. How can we edit its content for every context we want? I'm not too familiar at that level. Like, I don't think it's easy to just write something that'll modify this menu, for example, but I know there are things out there that can register with this menu. So there's probably some Windows API and it probably stores something persistent, like in the registry maybe, I don't know. But yeah, I would need to look up how that's done. But chances are there are resources for that online. Don't forget about breaks. 5 breaks. Do we get to see a funky shirt? I really have no plans for Tuesday. The last celebration that we did was what exactly? Oh yeah, getting a job. That was the last celebration. Hey Goose. And so the next celebration being the stream anniversary, I don't really have any ideas. My wife is like, oh, you know what we could do? Chat could ask you questions, but I could read them to you. And I'm like, wait, what? It's a work day. And she's like, yeah, I'm busy that day. That was her suggestion. Have you considered just decommissioning bot land? Yeah, I have. And that's hopefully that's one of the things I addressed in here. Let me make sure. Yeah, why not just retire the game? Yeah. That is here. I love to go into the stream just to see line 1 getting a job. I don't always know all my thoughts. I should. Good morning, now. Good morning, everybody. Yes, I think we'll get back to work pretty soon here. I still have a lot of other research tasks to do, and then there's the bulk of the work. And one of the reasons I want today to be a half day is because I think it's going to be very hard to make progress on any of this work unless I start doing some of the offline stuff, like setting up DNS with Cloudflare. IRL stream at a festive place. In this climate? Hey man, is this an updog like question? And I say, what's up, dog? I feel like there's something I'm missing with that question. All right, so figure out what I'm gonna do for email. I don't think Azure's sending email. I don't think there is a thing for this. And they have a partnership with somebody else apparently. How to send and test emails in Azure. I mean, granted, you could just use your own server, right? But at some point, you need to implement email sending. You can't send emails directly for any service in Azure. Why? You'll find the answer below. I want to find out the answer to that why. Where is that on here? Restriction applies to unauthenticated email delivery. Idea is to protect Azure data center IP addresses from reputation abuse. Free account offers $200 of credits for 30 days. Yeah. Okay, so I guess I could use AWS for this. I could use some other email service like SendGrid or Mailgun or whatever these other ones are called. I don't really want to deal with these things. Yeah, the only emails I send are transactional, so it shouldn't be too hard to do. Want to be a machinist. What? Just to be clear, what I had not wrote, I wrote getting a job here. What I meant is that was the last celebration. That was what, a week ago, and we celebrated that. As in, like, this already happened. So yeah, I'm not sure if you thought that was the task for today or something. Sorry, I thought you were there for that part of it. Apparently not. Yeah, it's not to do this. Hey, Perry. Am I searching for something like Send in Blue? I'm not necessarily searching so much as that I just need to make a decision. And I guess I want to go with what's easiest. I did a bunch of comparisons a while. Thank God this happened. Oh my goodness. You guys have no idea what that would have shown. So just to be clear what just happened, OneNote shows this section is password protected. And the tab title is personal, and the notebook title is priv, as in private. Yeah, glad that doesn't just show. All right, let me figure out what I was even trying to get to before I just got terrified right there. What was I gonna? Oh yeah, the mail stuff. Here we go. Now this was, I looked at all these services already, but this was for marketing emails. A lot of these have transactional emails, and the amount of emails I'm sending to people, do guest accounts get an email? I don't think so. What are the stats on this? Oh wait, I could just check SES. Let me go do that. Yeah, let me go check that. How many emails do I even send every month? I should check SES because I don't expect there to be some like explosion in popularity for this game. So if let's say I'm sending 200 emails, right? And so I sign up for some free tier that gives me 1,000 emails. And then another 800 people show up to the game, then, too bad. After that, no one gets emails. Like, I'm not going to worry about this stuff. So simple email service. I'm guessing this will tell me how many I sent. Sending statistics. Yeah, here it is. So how do I see what I sent last month? I don't know how to do that. Yeah, here's what I'm looking at right now. And I can see some in the last like week and a half, whatever this time frame is. Well, how do I see historical send data? Can I click this? What? How am I supposed to do that? Yeah, Adam Learns Bot is a separate Twitch account. What? How do I do this? Maybe in the billing dashboard? Maybe that says it? I'd be kind of surprised if it broke down to that level, but maybe it does. View, no, what's this? I just want to find this. Simple email service, here it is. US West, 262 emails. Okay, there's also a bill breakdown of all this stuff. You guys might be interested in seeing this. Here it all is. This is my AWS bill. This is why it's $300 a month. So what's expensive here? Yeah, EC2, because I'm running 7 instances. Then Aurora as a database. And then virtual private cloud for who knows what. That's sucky. Yeah, I think something like SendGrid could be fine. Let's go take a look at their pricing model. Now, granted, all I need is 4 transactional email. 100 per day forever. Is that fine? That's probably fine. Yeah, that's probably fine. I said 262 per month. Yeah, I think it's fine. Yeah, I forgot exactly why that you might be right about that, Danny. I don't know. I'd have to look into my notes again. Use different sites and create a script that switches between them. I don't want to do that kind of work. Let's also just look into a couple other ones really fast. I mean, I already have all the links right here, right? So is this for transactional or for marketing? Only pay for what you send after that? No, no, thank you. I think SendGrid will probably be fine. Yeah, transactional email service. And I could always use SES. I want to shut down that Amazon account completely. SES probably, where's their pricing that they have here? You can send 62,000 per month at no charge. Yeah. So this actually is pretty good. And I could probably use this from Azure, and it's what I'm already using right now. But then I can't totally shut down my Amazon account. But it's probably not that hard to shut down everything on Amazon that's costing money, right? Azure SendGrid. How many mails am I sending now? It's 262 per month. So, I mean, let's say that's a range of like 200 to 400, probably, which is not a lot. I know that. But yeah. Azure SendGrid. Oh, because they have that partnership, right? Yeah, partnership. And you can send 100,000 for free. Where does it say that? Page not found. Wow, this is great. Maybe because they have SendGrid in the URL twice. No. Oh, that's funny to me. Does the other get started link work? Nope, it's the same thing. Wow, wonderful. Good job, Azure. I don't understand why you need a service. I want to do as little as possible for this. So I could just have a node server send this out, I guess. But I don't know what that necessarily entails for email. Yeah, so you make it in the Azure portal. Okay, so let me go launch that and see what that shows. Azure. You get free plan for 25,000 per month. But that's what SendGrid has as its normal free plan, but only for the first 3 months, right? See plans and pricing? No, never mind. That's not true. My bad. All right, let me just go try this out. I'm on the Azure portal on my other screen. I'm just going to type in email. SendGrid and MailJet? MailJet didn't come up, did it? It's MailJet. Pricing. Free 6,000 emails per month, 200 per day. Yeah, this sounds fine too. And presumably the Azure one has even more they give you for this. Hey, newbie. Why did none of these buttons work? What's going on here? Okay, MailJet. Create email service. What does this do? Does it tell me price somewhere? Oh, pricing tier. Here we go. Sorry, I can't show this stuff on screen, guys. All right, so they say available plans, and then they have 6K emails, and they say free. So I'm guessing it's just the exact same plan as this. So this isn't a partnership, but I guess SendGrid is the partnership. How do I even get to that? Create SendGrid account, you said? Yeah, okay, I see that. All right, now what do I say for pricing tier? Free. 25,000 per month. Yeah, I think you're right. So wait, Atomic Nibble, it's totally fine if this number was just an approximation. I only see the 25K, and that should be more than enough for me. But where is the 100K? Yeah, for me, it says that's the silver tier, and that costs what looks like $80 per month. Yeah. Oh, you're okay. Yeah, that's totally fine then. Yeah, I think the 25K should be good. Okay, so it sounds like we'll just go with SendGrid. I don't think I need to do anything else. So SendGrid through Azure gives 25K emails per month, which should be more than enough. I sent 262 in August 2020. So that's fine, except for I got to write down one other thing. If I'm ever not on Azure, then I'll get 100 per day, which should still be fine. Yeah. If I ever leave Azure, I'll still get 100 per day through SendGrid. If I send 25K mails per month, you can cancel Google and return to Botland. The thing is, 25,000 emails per month for Botland still doesn't really mean anything. Like peak signups for Botland were, I think, it's whatever I showed you guys from. Where did I even get those stats? Oh, Metabase in the account signups, and I shut that down. Anyway, I think during launch week there were like 40,000 account signups in Botland. So I might have actually sent that many emails back then. But it didn't mean that the game was successful, so I still think it wouldn't this time around either. All right, well, we have an answer for this. So that's what I'll have to do. So I guess we'll need to set that up at some point. Set up SendGrid through Azure for email. This is all just stuff that's going to need to happen later. Unless there's anything more particular than this. Oh, that's fine if some of it ends up in spam. I'm retiring Botland essentially. So if people have to jump through a couple of extra hoops in order to play the game, that's totally okay. And one of those hoops is like you have to look through your spam email instead of your main email. Yeah, totally fine with me. I'm not too concerned about people like phishing passwords for Botland or anything. You know, if this were Twitch or Fortnite or any popular service or game, you have to worry about that sort of thing. For Botland, it's like, let's say you got another user's password. What can you do with that? You can see their email address. Big deal. Like you would have needed to probably have their email address anyway to phish their password in the first place. Yeah. Hey Marco. SendGrid's part of Twilio. Yeah. Yeah. So I'm not too concerned about this. So then let's look at this. This is something I only briefly took a look into. There is, where is it? AWS. Oops. Oh, this was supposed to be separate. Not there. Oh, where is it? I can't ever find this. Here it is. So I should just briefly look through here and make sure none of these are going to be crazy. Because if any of them are crazy, then they're going to really suck. Where is this used? Overseer server. Yeah, sure, whatever. Okay, that one's fine. What else? Let's look through all these functions. Modify load balancer. Is this in that same function? Yes, it is. Okay, so I don't care about any of that. Send email. This is going to need to change, so let's just ignore that for now. Set AWS region. That shouldn't matter. Update DNS CNAME record. What's this used for? The overseer. Oh, okay, fine. Create platform endpoint. I don't even know what this is. What? Yeah, what? All right, I gotta rework the whole notification system. I forgot about that. Yeah, mobile notifications have to be turned off, which means the UI will probably have to be turned off. Turn off mobile notifications entirely. There's UI for this that I'll have to disable. But if it involves... So if it involves changing apps at all, then I'll just make the API's error out. Yeah, but what is this? It's for notifications, sure. Call create platform endpoint. Yeah, we gotta just turn this off. Oh, there's so much code I'm gonna have to delete. All right, let's keep going. Get endpoint attributes. Is this to see if we have notifications? Yeah, sure. And set endpoint attributes. I don't care. Oh man. Oh, all this stuff. Did I write something about this? I did. Oh, so much work. It's all pointless. I've gotten an email, by the way, pretty much every single day saying how many people are getting mobile notifications, and the number doesn't really ever change, so it's been 48. Oh man. All right, that's another thing I'll have to do. Turn off the notification roll-up email. Oh, so much. Yeah, so get rid of all AWS specific code. Basically just AWS/index.js. Probably need to test most of this out. Wait, is AWS set to true? Maybe you just remove is AWS entirely and rename it to what it represents. Yeah. There. All right, let's just mark those things as done. So consider whether I really need primary and secondary systems for this. I don't think so. And Doran, do I use cron jobs for notification? I don't know what's doing this, but I don't think it's a cron job. I think it's something I coded into the overseer most likely about sending out a notification email. It should be in here somewhere. Yeah. I'm guessing that's the whole point of this thing. This is in charge of periodic mobile notifications. Yep. Yep, and it probably sends me an email too. Send email. Yep, there it is. So where did I write that down? Here it is. This comes from periodic notifier. Hey, APX. Finally a break. Nice. Yeah, and I've been doing well. Migrating Bot Land is a big task that I've been putting off for a while. And the reason I was putting it off, really, there were two. One is it wasn't super important. And two is it takes a lot of time. But now we're finally going to do it. It's still going to take a lot of time. So consider whether I really need these. This is another thing we'll have to do. These are all like major code changes. Yeah. So this and this, and one more, which is get rid of the primary, secondary systems for the matchmaker and overseer. What is this? I'll have to watch this later. Yeah, I think we just dumped this. There's no reason to have two any longer, especially if they're on the same physical machine. So figure out if I can completely close my AWS account. I have a feeling that by the end of this, I should be able to do that. Hey, Proxy. Hey, Phil. How am I taking notes? Yeah, it's pretty much just a text file, but then I have a plugin that's highlighting it this way. So yeah, you could open this up in Notepad or something and it'll show, but you won't get the ability to like check boxes and stuff. We'll have to write this for afterward. Yeah, close my AWS account. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I can close it. I just showed you guys my billing. Where is that? Where's the billing thing? I closed that tab, didn't I? Okay, well, let me show you guys the billing thing again so we can look through this one more time because I want to make sure none of this is needed. So CloudFront is the CDN in front of S3. That is used by the static site and then the game itself. And that should be it. CloudWatch is for auto scaling policies on CPU utilization on something. But I don't remember what. And then also probably some other minor metrics. Data transfer, I think, is bandwidth. DynamoDB, I'm not actually sure why that's here at all. Oh my God. There's like one record that's stored in there, and I think it's for um what is it? There's some state storage of Terraform. That's what it's used for. Yeah. So before I close the AWS account, I'm going to say back up anything worthwhile. So look through S3, look through all of the billing sections. So DynamoDB had Terraform state, and I'm nearly positive I wrote about this over here. Yep, here it is. Terraform saves its state to terraform.tf state, and this gets put into Dynamo, and it's for that one reason that I have DynamoDB listed here. Yeah. Yeah, Kimiko, check out the today command. I tried to make this as clear as I could in here. There are only 4 questions listed out. So yeah, questions about the job hunt. And down here, what's going on if you made a decision? The answer is no, I haven't. But there's more information in that document. Okay, so what else? ECR, I know what I'm using that for. EC2 container service, yeah, I know about that. This is regular EC2, that's fine. ELB, yep. Key management service, I don't know if I'll ever need this again. Do I need the public-private key pair from KMS? Is that what they call it, by the way? Because if so, that's an unfortunate acronym. They do call it that. Okay. Lambda, what is Lambda being used for? Migrations and the notifications, yeah. Migrations and notifications. How do you wear full sleeve shirts every day? By not streaming once it gets warm. Yes. All right, relational database service. We 100% need to migrate everything out of there, but I don't think I need to write anything down. Route 53. This is something for sure. Take snapshots of everything in Route 53. As soon as something goes wrong and my AWS account is closed, I'll be happy I had those snapshots. A lot of random stuff is going to break. Every time I modify DNS, I always forget something. And the last time, I think I prevented myself from getting emails for like a week, and I didn't realize it because that email address didn't get emails that frequently anyway. Yeah, you did. What I'm saying is not like what is Route 53. What I meant is more like, do I need anything from my usage of it? And that's what I'm just looking through right now to see why am I using all these services. So SES I'm aware of. SNS I'm aware of. SQS, yep. And S3. Yeah, all these things should be fine. VPC and WAF, I think VPC is the only thing I'm not totally sure why I needed that particular setup. Did I ever write this in here? Yeah, it might have been what Danny was saying about Aurora. It's entirely possible. In fact, I wonder if I wrote anything about Aurora in here. Nope, I didn't. Well, except for in this, maybe. Yeah. Just screenshot that bill from memories. Marco, please don't segment your messages. For RDS and EC2. Yeah, maybe that's why I'd set it up. Still not sure. Can I expand the usage details? Let me take a look off screen first. It's not anything interesting. It's just bandwidth. And then the VPC hour. And then WAF I'm using for one particular thing, but I forgot what. What am I using it for? Web ACLs. I don't have any. Oh, this needs to be in global, right? Yeah. I'm getting charged for this, but I don't see anything in here. Oh, do I need to do this? This is the worst. I don't remember. Yeah, I don't remember. Do I have anything about WAF in here? Yeah. To make a rule matching a specific REST route. Where is this in the UI? Like, I'm getting charged for something in here. I can't find it. How does it create rules for specific regions? You just in here. This is all I have on this, and I can't find anything in here. Well, they have a classic version of this same console. I wonder if this shows me. You don't have any here. Man, I'm not going to click all these different regions to figure out where I've got this. I'm getting charged, so I know something has to be here, but I can't find it anywhere. What a fun puzzle this is. Oh, there it is. I found it. It's in US West. I tried doing that already and I couldn't find it. So WAF just has a web ACL in the US West region. And let me take a quick look at this. I have a rule set up for this. Okay. Yeah. I know why I did this. I can't share why I did this, but I know why now. This was for... How do I write this down? For a secret reason. Let's write it that way. Yeah. All right, good. So we looked through that. Anything else? Write a script that starts all the different botland services in case this goes offline. Yeah, I think we can start doing some of the work for this now. I think I've done research into everything I need. I think this is finished. Finish botland migration tasks. We can just move this up to that list. Oh, all right. So where do we start? We still have to figure out what we're doing for building. Build and deploy everything. So build Docker images. We need to do that. What is it? Something like run Webpack on the client. And that should be it. As far as the steps that need to be done on my machine, I think so. I have a command for that, Felix. All right, is there any other step I need? There's a gulp file in here. What does this do? Published AWS. All right, and that has deploy assets to S3. This is going to be completely different now, right? Yeah. All right, sure. What else do we have? Clean deploy, minifying license code. Yeah, all this is pretty straightforward. Run Webpack. Yep. This should still be fine. We can still use a gulp file for this. We just want to cut out the deploy process. Okay, I think we should be able to do that. Just run everything from the client gulp file except for whatever that was called. Deploy. What did I call it? Deploy assets tester. And then build the Docker images. How do I do that? This is what's being done by Circle CI right now. Circle CI. Whoops, I need to do that. I meant to launch the config. Oh my god, I pressed enter, not backslash. The keys are right next to each other. Alright, so this was what was in charge of building everything. And I had a bunch of different workflows for this, right? Yep, overseer build, overseer push. So we should be able to mostly copy one of these, right? This checked out a specific image and then ran some tasks here. Hey Llama, hey Blitz. Do I want some kind of action runner for all of this? Or do I want to ever do this manually? Need somewhere to get these images too. I think just doing it manually. Am I coding Dank Memer? No, if you got here through Dank Memer, that's likely that just the bot is pointing to me, or that the streamer who owns the bot is pointing to me. But no, Melmsy is in charge of Dank Memer. I think I have a Melmsy command. Yeah. Made by Melmsy, not Adam. So build Docker images, see if I can do this on my local machine, and then run them. All right, well, yeah, maybe this is the first step we try. So how did this work? We made an npmrc file that would output a couple of special variables. And this was all just so I could build this, right? Then copy it to where it needed to be. Then run yarn docker build in this. This should exist for every single one of these. Yes, it does. So now let's go take a look at that. What does that do? Docker build. Docker build arg. Skip installing dev dependencies. Hope I never have to touch this stuff again afterwards. I know that, but I know other people do Dank Memer. I mean, did you find the stream through Melmsy's channel? Or is it through the bot? I think he stopped hosting me with the bot because of how many people would come in and then basically just like, I don't know, flounder around pretty much. As for what I'm coding, if you check out the today command, it talks about it a lot more. Okay, so we could try these things. I think that in order to build any of this from Windows, I need this thing running. But is there a way of starting this? Maybe this is how? You think Dank Memer? Uh-oh, that's not good if it is through Dank Memer. Can you just double check Blitz? Like, how did you find the stream today, I mean? Can you just go see if it's on Dank Memer? Just try to run bot land on a cluster of Raspberry Pis? Maybe. Right, I guess we should install this update. It's been a while since I've ever done anything here. So, yeah, let's go do that. What are your thoughts on Dockerizing most projects in terms of sharing it with others and deploying it? I think it's fine. I think it can make sense in some cases. I think it's all like, what is the easiest way for your users to do something? So, like, let's say you're publishing a Node project. Publishing it as a set of JavaScript files is probably fine. You don't need Docker in that case. Now, if this is for a production server somewhere and you want to provide some configuration, something along those lines, yeah, maybe it makes more sense then. It's Melmsy. Okay, yeah. Thank you for doing that. Because yeah, I was gonna say I need to talk to him if it was through Dank Memer. All right, stopping VM, preparing for update. I hope this doesn't have to restart. Because if it has to restart, then we'll just hold off on this and do something else. I don't know how long this takes, by the way. There's no progress bar anymore. It should be this. And all my VMs are off, so okay, I guess it's done. Finally, a CS student. Congratulations, Yusuf. The journey begins. And what keyboard am I using? I linked it in. Would I recommend a mechanical keyboard? A lot of people like them. So I would say give them a shot if you can. Unfortunately, they're not like the cheapest thing for you to just buy and then realize you don't like. So yeah, if you have a friend who has one, or if there's like a, yeah, pretty much a friend or a coworker. It's about all you could really do. There are some cheapo ones out there, and there are these tester keyboards, but I don't know if the tester keyboards give you a good idea what the keyboard would really feel like, because they typically have literally like 4 keys. Keychron looks cheap. I don't know what that is. All right, let's see. Wireless keyboard. Where's their pricing? Oh, $70? I mean, okay, if you're willing to spend $70 and not like the keyboard, yeah. But this is kind of what I was talking about. I was like, cheapo keyboards to me are in the like $5 to $15 range. But yeah, I'd give them a shot. Yeah, I've never heard of Keychron. I mean, it looked fine from what little I saw right there. Yeah, we're still just waiting for this. It's gonna take some time. $15 keyboard, we're gonna break in 2 days. I was using a $5 keyboard for several years. And the nice thing about it is I bought 2 or 3 of them so that when it finally did break, I just switched to a different one. And they lasted for a surprising amount of time. And I like really mash on the keyboard when I use it. It's taking a really long time. Am I streaming tomorrow? No. The next stream will be the 5-year anniversary stream on Tuesday. So the no stream on Friday, and I don't usually do weekend streams, so no weekend streams. So if I want to do this on my own machine, I don't even remember the steps for this. Search for Windows and see if anything shows up here. Installation on Windows. This requires Hyper-V. Which then stops virtual blocks. Yep, I remember that. Yeah, specify Hyper-V as your driver. Getting started with a brand new container you want to test. If you have a Docker image somewhere that you can pull. If you have a Docker file. You should just run Docker build. Should be easy. And then this will give us an image somewhere, which I would need to upload to my VM. I don't technically have to do that. Except if I were to use something like Docker Hub, they give you what, one free private container? Which means I can't really use that either, or at least not easily. How do you do that? Create repository. Does have a private. And then is there, yeah, here it is. Using 0 of 1. Yeah, so I can't do that. So we have to probably just SCP it directly to the VM, which is like 500 megabytes of stuff, but I guess that's fine. I would probably need to SCP the resulting file directly to the VM. And there'd be downtime anytime I do this too. Yeah. Hey, Metalstorm, and hey, Oju. Is this done yet? Thankfully, it is. Okay, so now how do we... Ooh, what happened to the VM? Uh-oh. Yeah, uh-oh. It just went away. There used to be something called like Moby VM or something here, right? But it's gone. Refresh? Is that even a thing? I guess it is. Oh, it just reappeared there. Now it's called Docker Desktop VM. That is a much better name for it. So what are we looking at here? 2 virtual processors, no dynamic memory, thank goodness. Okay, so this won't be too bad. We don't have some crazy amount of RAM being used. Yeah, I still have some breathing room. Yeah, I'm trying not to pay for any of this stuff though, Metalstorm. And someone asked what's SCP? So if you look up SCP, I guess like Unix, you'll find out everything about it. Yeah, here. So yeah, just copying files. Secure copy. Get started with Docker in a few easy steps. I don't think I need a tutorial for this. Try running a container. Copy and paste this. I don't care about this. What? I thought Skip would have not told me tutorial stuff. Was this Kirby Superstar? So I want to build this. I wonder what would happen if we just did yarn run docker build. Let me just try, see what happens. Mine failed. Drat. All right, I think we're missing some variables that we need here. GitLab is free. I wonder if I even really benefit from using some third service and not just SCP. No, it shouldn't matter no matter what. Because even putting this on GitLab, oh, unless GitLab were to run it for me. But anyway, for now, I'll just try this directly. And Perry, the old you is back. Yeah, so let's see what I've got here. Docker build is supposed to run with this. I think there's a problem with doing this on Windows, or it's a problem with this not appearing where it should. I think it's a problem with doing this on Windows, though. Where is that? Cross conf env, maybe? Cross env? For one of these things, let's look them up. Cross conf env. Is this it? Yeah, this is it. Does this work on Windows? Oh, the syntax changes. Great. Great. So we'd have to change all these $signs to quotation marks or to percent signs. So percent, and then we try running that and it works. Hey, we did it. Except, is this gonna crash my stream? I don't think this is gonna automatically upload anywhere. It's just downloading now, that's fine. But I've already dropped a bunch of frames. So if this ends up doing any kind of upload, my stream might just go offline. All right, so no such file or directory. Yeah. Do you want a shirt comment? No. All right, well, we got to write this down somewhere. Cross conf m. Do I have anything about this anywhere? No, I don't. Okay, well, let's write this down. To build the Docker images, I need to change package.json to have percent signs on Windows rather than a $sign before it. But we still run into this problem. So copy failed stat var lib docker temp docker build. No such file address. Oh yeah, I don't mind. Oh, this is bad. This is bad. So we're copying over an npmrc so that we can pull from the registry, but I don't want to do that. So we're gonna have to modify this. Have to modify the Docker build process. Oh, what, that was weird. Have to modify a Docker build process so that we don't need the npmrc file at all. Oh man. All right. I think this is going to be tedious. This is one such route that we could approach this with. So let me explain what's going on here. First of all, Docker is for running containerized images. So think of this as a very thin layer beneath your application that includes everything that would go above the metal of the machine. So it's a very thin operating system that exists there. And it'll almost always have like one thing running, and it's just your application. So that's what you can kind of think of as this containerized image. So let's say we had a game server. It's really like a game server Docker image, and we run that. And this is going to have something, typically something like Alpine Linux, which, like I said, is just some very thin operating system. That way, what you get out of this is that your game server will run the same on any underlying machine because it's always going to run this same operating system on it. And so you get consistency, you get easy deployability. There's a lot of benefits for this. So my issue is that in just building these images, there was a process that I used to go through, which was something like this, I think. It was like get code onto the onto the host, and then install dependencies from the host, and then build. But here what I want to do is I want to just build directly with the code and deps that I have, I guess. I'll say, Steve. And I don't know how we're going to do that. So I got to figure that out. But this ran pretty much everything, right? Docker build, Docker save. And Docker save was to do what? Save image.tar. Tag, push, where's all that stuff? Overseer push to ECR, I'm guessing that did it. Load image. Log into ECR, which I don't want to do again. Tag and then push, yeah. Oh man, how any of this stuff works. That's crazy. You never pre-build image with authentication code? And did I figure out the MariaDB problem? I just ended up using a Docker image for MariaDB. And thanks, Llama. All right, how are we going to do this? So the reason this is failing is because in the Docker file that I have, which is in shared app, Docker app, Docker file, in this, we try using that npm-rc. We could probably get rid of a lot of this if we just copied over everything and then didn't try installing from here. Make sure package name was specified, or the steps are going to fail. Yeah, what if we got rid of yarn build? This is going to be painful. Yeah, I don't want to run yarn at all. I need to copy over everything that's needed by this image. Can't copy a node modules dir if that's what you're talking about. That's pretty much what I'm talking about. Why are you saying I can't copy it? Just because it'll take forever? Because couldn't I mount that as a volume in this and then, or just copy everything over to it? I guess installing from npm shouldn't be too bad. Maybe I'm doing this in a bad way. Maybe trying to bypass the npm-rc file isn't a good idea. Have the file, so I could copy it over. All right, what's supposed to copy that over? Circle CI was supposed to do it. So I could just run this, couldn't I? So npm-rc, what if I copied mine npm-rc for Docker? Then what gets this into the image itself? Does that? Docker build. I don't know. It's got to be this line. But npm-rc for Docker, how does that make any sense? Why am I fiddling with it anyway? That has the token needed to pull the font awesome code from npm, which is a paid set of packages. Which now that I think about it, if I am going to go with things this way, I would always need to keep renewing my font awesome license. Which I'm probably now going to have to keep doing that. But I have built it using Unity? Yeah, I could have. Yeah, I could copy everything. I'm still debating on what I want to do here for this. I'm not totally sure. Because another thing I want to think about is if I ever do need to make a change that involves rebuilding everything and I don't have the dependencies, I need to be able to get the dependencies. And I don't know how Font Awesome works once you've stopped paying for it. You probably still can't download the files. Just copy it. What's the worst case scenario? The worst case scenario is I eventually lose it and then there's nothing to copy anymore and I need to pay for it again. Want to figure that out? Check your last comment. Some packages will use a host GCC to build things, which will be different in the container. I see. Would it have been easier? Yeah, some things would have been easier, and some things would have been harder. My goal with Botland originally was to have as little friction as possible. So if you go to play.bot.land, you're in the game. That you didn't have to accept anything. There wasn't like a 40 megabyte download of all the Unity packages. You're there. You can start playing. You can go into this stuff, and there's like hardly any load times. And that's what I wanted. I really valued that in Botland. And originally, the only way to publish from Unity to the web was to the Unity plugin that they had. This was back in like 2016, remember? And that just took forever to load. Why not simply deploy the finished app on the cloud while keeping all the dev steps on your own machine? Well, that's one of the things I'm kind of trying to do. The dev steps involve making these Docker images, and I used to run this on Circle CI. And then Circle CI would publish to AWS. I'm trying to cut AWS out of the picture. I'm trying to cut Circle CI out of the picture. So I'm trying to figure out how I build this on my own machine. And it's a little bit difficult. Should not do that. What is this? What is this indeed? Add font awesome feed as an upstream source to your Azure Artifacts feed. Tells you exactly what to do. I'm not sure I understand this. Circle CI ended up being free. I just don't want to cut it out of the loop. Why don't you just have a local registry then for Docker? My issue is that the Docker file has me running yarn. I don't want to do that. I want to avoid running yarn in the Docker file altogether. I can build. It's not a good idea though. Yeah, I don't think I should do this. Maybe this is a bad idea. I have the npmrc file. I can copy it over. All right, how would I do this though? That's the. I'm not sure what this npmrc for Docker folder is, and maybe I have something written down somewhere about this. Oh. This is here. Okay, I see. I'm missing something else. Circle CI node. This is their thing. Set up remote Docker. Check out. There's something I'm missing here. All right, well, let's try copying the file and let's try to figure this out. Yeah, so figure out how to get the npmrc file into the Docker image. This is the command that circle CI used. Why did that not work? So this is my own npmrc. Where did this even come from? How'd this get onto circle CI? That's the part I don't get either. The only way I think this would work is if this were my image, but it wouldn't be. Oh, no, I echo it here, which if it didn't exist, it would now exist. And I actually don't want any of this here. Oh, man. Why do I want to get rid of yarn? That's the whole point of the Docker file. I want all the contents in the resulting Docker image, but I don't necessarily need them to be built for that Docker image. They could just get copied over there. Yeah, you're right. You're right, 07. It does copy it over, although I don't think the npmrc is part of that. Because I would have needed to check that into this repo, which I don't think I did. No. I did here, which I doubt. Oh, yeah. Okay, I just need a Docker image that has all this stuff in it. I actually don't even need these to be Docker images, I guess. Oh, then I'll still run into yarn issues. Create a volume in the npm or yarn global cache. I mean, dev would have to run yarn outside to get all the files in the right place. Yeah, Metalstorm, that's fine though. That's what I'm saying is like, I'm the dev. I'm the only person running this for one VM in the cloud. So that's what I'm saying is like on my Windows machine, I already have the build process set up. So now why try to get this to work for the Docker file, I guess. And that's why I was thinking, should I even bother getting this npmrc file in there? And I think the answer is no. And I think the way I'd have to work around this is by just copying over everything from node modules, which I think is fine. Yeah, I think it's fine. And I think it's fine if these images end up being bigger than normal anyway. Yeah. But still, it's going to be an issue just to get this set up. So I'll need to modify this to not use yarn, but I'll have to copy everything over that I would have needed. Yeah, I'm very torn on this. Let me back up a step. The resulting images to the VM. Add Docker volume to cache yarn so you don't have to download everything for npm over and over again. Yeah, that might be what I end up doing. Let me write this stuff first. Figure out what I want to do about Docker. So I guess option number one is build the images how we built them on Circle CI. This is like step one, copy over any npm specific credentials in the form of npmrc, and then run yarn to install all dependencies, and then build. Yeah. Option number two is copy over all of node modules directly into the Docker image. Option number three is probably like bypass Docker altogether and just put code right on the host. Do I have any major reason for running inside of Docker? I guess some amount of isolation between everything and being able to set memory limits. That's a good idea. Yeah, so I have to decide between option one or two. I guess we should test option number one. I just still don't even know how to do this. And this implies that I'm going to have all of my code on this machine, which means I wouldn't be able to modify the client to have a specific link where I need it. Because I modified a package.json file to change a dependency here. What cheaper infra? Check out the today command. Yeah. Closing out on a job yet? I'll post an update when I've got it for sure. But yeah, for now, the today command kind of talks about it a little bit in that document. And the short answer is there's no update. Okay, so if I copy it over, I also need to update package.json to have the correct link for intro.js. I don't understand your hesitation. You use Docker to build deployable Docker images, right? Yeah. I think part of my hesitation is not knowing how to do what I'm trying to do. And part of it is I don't I don't know. Actually, I don't know what the other part is, I guess. Yeah. You don't use Docker. Say you run npm install on Windows. Some packages might not work properly. That is true. That's very true. Yeah. I didn't know about that. This is not an option. Work for any OS specific packages they get built. Easy buy a node chip. Yeah. Yeah. I forgot about that. Hey, tech. Um, I think this is a wording problem. I never implied it was just a month. I don't know where you got that from. This is how rates are stated, right? Like if you said like $5 per hour, that doesn't mean you made $5 in exactly 1 hour. You'd then say that it was for 1 hour, right? So saying 100 per month is not like, oh, it's just times 1 month. It's just a rate. Yeah. I've been saying that for the past 15 minutes. Sorry, I missed the message you said here. Everything else you might have said though. Okay. I see what you're trying to say. Yes. Thank you. I'm not intentionally trying to be dense here. And what's the problem I'm trying to solve? I think the problem has kind of been solved now, and I just need to figure out how I want to do some of these other steps. Let's just try building the overseer since it doesn't have that link problem. But in order for this to work, don't we need to check this out on from GitHub? So I guess technically no. As long as we run Docker build from the right location? Yeah, technically no. All right, so we just need to get at the npmrc file, and even then we shouldn't really need that. Maybe we can just delete this stuff. Can I touch the code after I deploy? No, I'm just going to leave it as is. The goal of this is pretty much just get this online. Okay. So copy npmrc for Docker. We shouldn't need this. Right, if I just delete this, and I delete anything else to do with an npmrc, that should be it. Now we should be able to run this. Does it work? No. No. How did I work? How did I just do this? I did this yesterday, right? And I had some reason that this wouldn't fail. Oh, right. Learn a link. Oh, I forgot. Yeah, we got to learn a link in this. Learn a link in the root at some point. Yeah. Build everything locally. Just zip the Docker images and transfer them to container. Then use Compose to run the services. Um, that is kind of what I'm trying to do. Yeah. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do. But I'm still trying to just get one of these images to build. And the problem I'm running into right now is I think link never ran here. So I need to do this somewhere in there. Copy the application code. Then build the application. This is not what we're supposed to do right now. Oh, I know why. Oh man. All right. All I'm doing is copying over one package, and then I was expecting the rest to be downloaded from Yarn. I would need to copy everything over. And then also symlink things. And isn't there a Docker ignore file somewhere? I don't know where that comes from, but I think that's a thing in Docker. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Okay. Well, that's the next issue that I'll have to figure out. So I can't run this unless I have all of the code in the host. I only have the one package right now. So copying all the code wouldn't be too terribly bad. And the Docker ignore should prevent node modules from making it over. There's the Docker ignore. What's in this file? Yep. Now, why is this here? This is not going to work, is it? I'm guessing the exclamation point is like include this stuff. I didn't write any references on this. No, I didn't write any references. What is the exclamation point? Line starting with this can be used to make exceptions to exclusions. So we ignored everything and then made exceptions to all those things. Okay, I see. Yeah. So can we link directly to this? Docker. Is this is Docker file reference? Then they had the Docker ignore thing here. Some info here. Oops. Yeah, so I might need to change how this works too. Because originally the reason I wanted to ignore everything is because all we really needed was the dependencies and then the code. And that was it. And I didn't want anything from any other files that might have been there. But now what we would need is everything except the dependencies. But even that, I'm not totally sure is true. No, we're still going to use yarn. Yeah, so that would be true. But in order for us to get all of that, then I would need to copy over the source from every single package of it. And we'll get the package.json files. And the client isn't built here. The client actually, this should never be a problem then. Oh, okay. So then let's try this. Let's try copying everything. But the source folder is specifically used here, which it's going to fail. Yeah, it's going to fail. Because we're copying over one package.json file and then trying to run this from there. Yeah, okay. So we got to do this differently. We're going to copy over everything in packages to just /. So that'll put in, yeah, that'll put in the overseer. That's basically this folder. So we'll end up with the overseer, the game server, the account server, and in any of these specific folders, we'll end up with just package.json and the source folder, which is all we should need. So I get rid of this and this, and now we can't just run yarn build in one thing, we need to cd into that particular directory. So first we need to do run learn a link, and then we need to go into packages / package name. I'd be very surprised if any of this worked. Now we can't cd into this. We just run this from over here, I guess. I don't remember how you do this. Yeah, how you do this. Because it's been a long time since I've written a Docker file. Rather than using cd, just set workdir and act based on that. Yeah, so yeah. Hey, desk. And good luck, APX. And I don't think this is necessarily to have an architectural diagram in my head. I think this is something I worked on for like 4 years and know the general layout of this, but that definitely struggling. Would you say this is confusing looking at your code again? So what's confusing here is not it's not a result of this being poorly written. This is pretty well commented and it's not actually that long either. What's confusing me is I've forgotten a lot about Docker because I learned Docker only to be able to do this stuff, and then I just never touched it again. So at this point, I thought, oh, I'll just change directories, right? But that's not how you do it in Docker way. So how I should do it is like this. This should be /apps/ Oh. All right, we could try that. I don't know if this will work. Let's see. Learn a not found. Yeah, that might work better. Man. So if I can get this one to work, I think I can get all 4 to work, because I think it should be the same general process. And then the client is a totally different process, so I shouldn't actually run into any issues there. I don't think this step should be taking so long. Like, it didn't fail immediately, so it's not like earlier. Oh, what happened? I need learn an if for that? Darn it. Forgot about this. Independent mode makes it so you'd have individual version numbers. Don't care about that. Learn an import, learn a bootstrap. It will npm install everything, link everything, run pre-published. No, I just want a link. Can't do that. This is a chicken and egg problem. I want Lerna to know that Botland stuff is supposed to be linked, and then I want to run yarn after that. If I run yarn before it, it won't know that it's linked. If I run learn a link first, then it'll try using npm instead of yarn. I wonder if you can link without installing anything? Because if you can do that, then there's no problem. Learn a link. Okay, force local publish config.directory, that's it? Oh, that's not good. Am I migrating the AWS server? Let's check out the today command. It's got a lot of information on what's going on here. And yeah, same thing. Quinn, if you check out the today command, it's got the answer to your question too. I tried to make it so that the today command only has a very, very small amount of text, and then it would answer the top 4 questions that I've been getting repeatedly. And so yeah, why am I migrating? What am I migrating to? Why not just retire the game? What's going on with the job hunt? All those questions are answered there. Symlink together all, and there's literally just force local, and yeah, that's it. I don't suppose force local does more than what I think it does. I mean, we can try this, but I really doubt it. Hey, Dr. Morrow, propose to play a Weeb game. I'm just not sure about playing games on stream. I think the game I'd be most interested in trying on stream might be Nuclear Throne. And I don't think that would be all that fun to watch. But there's one task I've been trying to do for a long time and just cannot do in that game. And I came so close to doing it the other day and then died and then got very dejected. Then we consider paying AWS up front. What does that mean? I didn't even know that was an option. Yeah, this doesn't work. Well, that was worth it. Oh, you mean reserving instances and everything? No, I didn't consider that. Because even like my goal is to cut this down to basically just have it be free. Yeah. Google's building a game dev team. Is that news? Or are you asking me about that? Because if you're asking me, I don't know if that's a thing. And I guess if I did know, I probably couldn't share, but yeah. Let's say like as far as outsider information goes from before this whole process, yeah, as far as I know, that's not a thing, but I guess they have Stadia. Yeah, so we can't do this. This won't work. I could, I guess, manually link things if I wanted to, but I need more code than what I just have there. So learn a link may not be sufficient for this. Did I write this in here? Either way, it tries installing everything via npm. Google made a game engine slash kind of game, like the, what was it called? Game Builder or something like that? Raimo and I tried it out. So you're playing in this multiplayer world with up to 4 people, and you can write scripts and everything while you're in the game that control the game that you're playing. It was a kind of cool idea, but I guess it got shut down pretty quickly. I think they had like 4 or 5 people working on it. I think it was called Game Builder. Google Game Builder. Yeah, Google made a video game that lets you build video games. Yeah, this thing. And I guess it's dead now? Where is it here? Google Archive. Why is that? No longer actively developed or maintained. Yeah, this lasted for such a short time. Pretty crazy to me. But it was kind of neat. Oh, I check DigitalOcean pricing calculator. So Quinn, I'm not necessarily looking for new hosting. I don't know if you read the today command, but I can spend up to 75 a month for free on Azure. Probably 100 a month for free if I really wanted to. So I'm not paying any money for that VM that I made yesterday. It's got 2 CPU, it's got 8 gigabytes of RAM, and it's got a, I don't remember what, 64 gigabyte SSD or something like that. Yeah. So I'm not paying for this, and I'm not paying for any other like little associated costs like bandwidth or something. That's all free. And that's not really the problem right now. The problem is I can't build any of this stuff. Oh man. I guess what we could do is run this through Circle CI where was no. Wait, could I though? Yeah, maybe I do that. I mean, technically this stuff should still work. It just deploys to a different spot. Where did the credits come from? Yeah, again, like for anyone who's got any questions, please take a look at the today command. But in this case, the short answer is just a viewer is being very nice. That's all. How cheap do you want this game to be? Free. I want it to be free. I don't mind paying a small amount of money. I just don't want to have this dependency on something. So suppose this person stops giving me these credits, then that's it. Bot Land would just be offline, right? So I'd have to migrate it somewhere else. And at that point, I might just shut it down. Like I said, I don't mind paying a small amount of money, but honestly, spending this amount of time on doing all of this is crazy. And I haven't even gotten to some of the big changes I need to make. So if I ran this through Circle CI, I mean, I guess I could just end up paying for something like Docker Hub, be $5 a month, or pay for GitHub container registry, or even AWS ECR. GitLab apparently lets you host them for free though. Docker registry, container registry. How much do they charge for this? Where's their pricing? Oops, I didn't even click that. GitLab container registry pricing. When was this? 5 days ago? What's the pricing model? They don't answer this themselves? The GitLab Docker registry is free? Oh, is it also in beta then? That question was from 5 days ago? Because I was going to say GitHub is also free for right now too, but they're saying eventually it won't be. Get to review your setup with your newly learned experience in the job hunt. But yeah, but my goal is not to do that right now. My goal is basically stop spending so much money. Yeah, so otherwise I wouldn't mind too much. I think it's kind of fun to work through some of these problems, but I'm getting stuck on things that if this were a while ago when I'd originally set this up, I would have known how to proceed. And right now I've just forgotten so much. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to do, T-Bot. Is I'm trying to build these Docker images. I guess even deploying somewhere, is there any other thing I could do here? Run some CI on my own? Well, how much does ECR cost? Maybe I make a new Amazon account just for this. On the free tier, you get 500 megabyte months. Yeah, sure, but then 10 cents per gigabyte month. Okay, so I think this would cost like 2 pennies. And then data transfer would probably cost an extra cent, maybe two. So I'd probably pay like 3 or 4 cents. I think that's the cheapest way. 3 to 4 cents per month. I could get rid of pretty much everything else. Handle that number of users to add to your platform. I got that email too about CI and CD going up. Why not GitHub CR? Because I'd have to pay for it. They're saying during the beta it's free, and then afterward it's pretty much the same as ECR, where you get 500 megabytes of storage for free and 1 gigabyte of bandwidth for free. Can the new job support 4 cents a month? No, I don't think so. That's hefty. So the issue here is that I wouldn't ever be able to totally get rid of Amazon. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. It's not that the cost is too much. It's that I want to delete my AWS account completely. And if I were to do things this way, I'd probably end up closing down every other part of the account. And I just don't like having these moving parts out there. Why not Azure's? I keep forgetting about that. Azure Container Registry. Once you build the image, you technically don't need a registry. Well, if I'm having, okay, so here's my issue right now is I think Circle CI is going to be building the image and then pushing it somewhere. Because I can't build this on my own machine because I can't figure out what I would need to do for that. Maybe, I mean, Circle CI shouldn't be any different from my own machine in that regard. All it's doing is pulling a repository and then running some steps. So I should be able to just run those steps. Oh, but I don't have Redatio anymore. That's the reason. Right. So even what I'm trying to, even this idea I'm coming up with won't work. Okay, so this won't work if I don't have Redatio running somewhere. I forgot about that. Yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, man. All right, so I think the answer is I just have to change the build process. Yeah, I think that's the answer. To be exactly what I ran on the VM from yesterday, which was 9.3.20. Yeah, that's the answer, I think. Yep. All right, so we wrote all these steps yesterday. That took me a long time to come to the conclusion of, which was all of these things, right? Not all of this. I highlighted a bunch of stuff, but some of this, like cloning the repo, whatever else, these are things that I could have the Docker image do. And then everything should be fine. Except for the client. I delete these things though. Yeah, migrating Verdaccio to some other registry, I guess is another option I could do. I kind of want to avoid that as well. So I want to just shut this down. Although what's going to happen, I guess once I turn that off, I need to figure out what happens there. Verdaccio. I never wrote anything about that. Okay. Once Verdaccio is offline, try building bot land again just locally. I don't think it'll work, so I'll need to update the README on GitHub for how to do this. What do people use for local Docker image cache so you can still pull if upstream outages? I can't seem to find anything obvious. What do they use for local image cache? I mean, Docker itself, just on your own machine, should have an image cache. I think if you do like Docker image ls, you'll actually find out what there is. Yeah. So these are just stored on your own machine somewhere. I don't know where. But if you're talking about a local cache for your whole network, I don't know what the answer for that would be. Probably have to host something. But maybe you could even use like a self-hosted GitLab for that. Yeah. So I guess change the build process. I don't want to do this stuff right now. I think this is too much. But yeah, let's write it. Change the build process for the Docker images to do what I did manually on it. What are the steps of this that I don't like? I need some kind of GitHub credentials. The private key needs to be on the Docker host. Is that even true? How else would I pull? How else should I pull code? Put all your custom packages within the Lerna scope. Have a Docker file. Just build the whole thing. There are some packages that aren't in Lerna that I think are being used, but I'm not totally sure either, Nani. Why not use local Docker register and pull it from there? I can do that. Okay, so I kind of bounced back and forth between a few things. At first, I was thinking just build locally, push images to VM. And then after, I was thinking building locally is too hard, so let's use Circle CI again. Then after that, it was Circle CI can't access Verdaccio if that's offline, so it was back to building locally. And now our problem is just, yeah, how do we build that, I guess? And yeah, that's what I need to look into. So we need to run these steps. I guess the first thing is like get code. I also need to like remember how debugging this process works. Can't I connect to the image to see what the hard drive looks like? I think I can. I need to look that up. How's the migration going? It's going. Let's just say that this command sums up the whole rigmarole I'm going through right now. Remember how this debugging process works, then get the code onto the machine from GitHub. Then it's whatever these steps are. So there are multiple repos I need to clone. I might need to make it so that the client doesn't try getting built. Maybe cut out the client's package.json if I don't need to build it. Or just exclude it from yarn in the root somehow. Igloo's. Just put all your npm packages you need in the packages folder and have Lerna link everything up. And build the entire thing in Docker and just run the image. Yeah, I mean, you might be onto something. I am kind of stuck in the context of what I'm thinking of right now. So the I wouldn't say the system's all that complex. Basically, it boils down to this: like npm is used for any public dependencies that we had, and then I was using Verdaccio for any private dependencies. And these private dependencies were all the app botland stuff. So like the game server, the account server. Verdaccio will be offline after I disable my AWS account. So all those private modules need to be somewhere. And it's either that we link them, like kind of what Nani's talking about, or that I make another registry for them. So this concept, I don't think this is any real complexity on its own. It was basically like I don't want my code to be on public servers. But now I'm shutting down the thing that I'm paying for. So now where does that code go? And that in itself is something that I'm just struggling to figure out. How am I going to set this up? Now, I figured this out on the VM yesterday, but then I need to make it so that I can get a Docker image to do the same thing, which is pretty much those same steps, I guess. What about use Git directly from package.json? And you can reference package to Git repo? Yeah, I think at this point my brain's just shutting down because I'm not even processing this as like how this could be a route. So I think I need to pursue this route that I have here. Have a single Git repo. Packages hold everything. So I don't currently have a single Git repo, but I guess that could be done. I could consolidate these like 7, 8 Git repos into one. Because right now what I have is everything in here. But I don't think all these things are even needed. Especially not if I'm building them for my own machine. Yeah, probably don't need all these things. So I think it's mostly in Botland. I can do this as its own thing. Can I open source those? I mean, I could. I don't actually want to open source it. I'd thought strongly about open sourcing all of this and then just not having the game be online anymore. And people could just run it themselves if they wanted to. But I decided against that for a couple of reasons. Namely, I don't think there's any benefit by having it be open source. I think some people would look through it a little bit, but beyond that, I think there's a lot of potential negative things. I have to worry about licensing and enforcing licensing. I don't want to do any of that. So figure out how debugging this process works. I guess this is another problem that I have. Is it getting the code onto the machine? I'm worried about doing this on stream because this is how Circle CI did it. It just had a checkout step, and then it had some way. I think it used OAuth to do this. Yeah, OIDC stuff. And that part I need to do. I don't know how we're gonna do it. It's going okay, Andorn. Why not spin up a container with Verdaccio on Azure? If I spin up a container with Verdaccio, then I need to make sure that all of my modules get published to it. And that's probably harder to do than not using Verdaccio. Okay, so let's check this out. Let's see how we would get this to work. So workdir app, build for production. I guess the first thing we'd have to do is run git clone on this. And this will fail. And then I want to figure out how we even go investigate any of this stuff. There's some way when you're building this Docker file. Okay, yep. Building, pushing, so build-t. So my question right now, and anyone who knows Docker probably has the answer to this, is like this ran a bunch of steps and then it failed. Is there any way for me to still go like figure out what does this look like at the failed step? Or would I have to build everything up until the failed step and then I'll have a valid image I can go look at? You code enough. And here we go. In the end, you just want to run Botland in a single VM, so your deployment can literally be SSH, clone down the repo, build it. There's no need for CI infra. There's no need for CI, but I don't want to have all the code just running like how it runs in development, where they're just kind of next to each other. And someone was saying earlier that there's a way I could limit memory usage between all the different processes anyway. But I think by having them in Docker containers, it would be easier because then I could say something like, okay, a game server is pinned to the CPU and can use half of the memory available. Everything else share the other CPU. And while I might be able to do that when they're just processes, I don't know how easy that is. Run ls. Oh, yeah. I think we have that written somewhere. Yeah, a simple way of seeing what a particular directory looks like is just to add ls into Docker. Neat. I'll write this somewhere. I guess we'll just have to highlight this because I don't have a section specifically on Docker files, do I? Oh, Docker node, Alpine Linux. Oh, wow. Yeah, wow. Yeah, so this tip was already here. Definitely a pro tip. This is especially helpful if your build is failing, so you can figure out what the file system looks like. Sorry to hear that coded on about the rough week. Yeah, TGIF. Run a container with the image layer before the failing step. Yeah. Alternatively, you could trim the steps down to the successful ones and then run that image on its own. Yeah, subs were turned off on this channel. No money from you guys. So we could try running this. I think this is going to fail, but let's just test it out, I guess. Git command off. That's roughly what I'd expect. All right, so we had node gyps somewhere. Let's go find that. So I pulled out all these things. Docker, I think, might have had this. Or was it? There. There it is. Okay, so run apk update, blah, blah, blah. Let's run this here. And then apk add dash dash update git. Hooray. Now we go run that. Cloning into Bot Land, unable to fork. Returning non-zero code 128. This is probably lack of credentials, and I don't totally know what to do for this. Like, we could give it a private key, probably. Here, I have it. I don't know what we're supposed to do here. Do we give this a private key? So Docker image pull from GitHub private key. I want to see what other people suggest for this. Because I can copy a private key over. But is that the way that people suggest doing it? Yeah, HTTPS with access tokens. Oh, this is where those deploy tokens come in from GitHub, right? All right. Copying private key to SSH. Yeah. Yeah, I'll go look into the deploy token. The settings. I see SSH. I think this is for a specific repo that you set this up. Botland. Settings. Deploy keys. Yeah. So I click add deploy key and then paste in a key. Okay. Frames, it's probably frames. Yeah, I'm probably docking some frames. It's not as bad as it was yesterday. Hey, Red Rocks. But it's something. We'll put that up here. I'll drop it a little bit farther down. So I don't like it when it covers text in Visual Studio Code. So I gotta go make a key and then make sure that this private key gets to my machine. Make a deployment key from the repo in GitHub so that I have read-only access to this. Then I copy it, put it in the taskbar under notifications. Oh, you mean covering? So, by the way, I see this on my own screen. So whatever text is under here, I can't read that also, just like how you guys can't read that. Whereas the text that shows up over here right now, I can still see all the icons just fine. You guys just can't see the icons. But yeah, this is actually on my screen. So if I put it down here, it would be really hard to still use my computer because I wouldn't know what has the focus or. Yeah, so I think this is what we have to do, which means I got to run SSH keygen and generate a private key and then save it on my own computer and then copy it to this other machine, which means that then this Docker file is really only going to work for me. Or I check in the private key to the repository because the private key is literally just for fetching the repository. So if you already have it, it's not bad. It can always be revoked. Yeah, actually, honestly, that's not a bad idea. This is literally a deployment key for the repo that it would live in. So it's a bad idea if I show it on stream. But that actually brings up another question, which is I have this Docker file that's now going to have to change specifically for this. It's going to be in a branch about retiring Bot Land, but still, I might forget that that was there. It doesn't really matter, I guess. Yeah, let's go get a deploy key. All right, let's run SSH keygen. Generating key, so enter where I want to save this. Super weird. There's some backslashes and some forward slashes. I'm just going to type out rd idrsa docker botland. Enter passphrase. Okay, so now if we go load that up, I'm not going to use this key. I'm just testing this. SSH slash idrsa docker. It's not even there. What am I missing? All right, let me open this whole folder up on their monitor. Go into the SSH folder. Oh, it didn't save here. But oh. I think I know what happened. I think it might have saved in the user profile directory. Because when it said enter file, I thought it was just going to change the IDRSA part, not the path as well. Did it save here? Yeah, there it is. IDRSA docker for yeah, there it is. Okay. So we can copy this into the repo. And like I said, make sure never to type git diff or else it's going to show. Although I could always just revoke it at that point. It's pretty fast to do that. But how do we even get things to copy from here? Copy yarn.log. Okay, so I guess we'll put this in here. So I'll put this for app. I'll open this file. All right, there they are. Now I'm going to go modify GitHub so that this thing has the right contents that I need. Give me a sec. I got to do this off screen. ID RSA. What did I call this? There we go. No write access. Don't need that. Oh, good. Now I get GitHub can't be reached when I try doing this. That's fun. Page github.com is not found. What? Something weird's going on right now. Give me a sec. Let me try that again. Everything just like totally failed for no reason. Yeah, it didn't add the key. I don't know what happened there. Add key. Oh, now it worked. Yeah, cool. It's been added. All right, good. So next, we need to copy this into that folder. So copy, we need the path directly to here. So this is going to be packages, and we're currently in the app folder. Package app, and then we want to copy the private key over, so this, to the SSH directory. And then when we get cloned, don't we need to specify that we want to use that key? I guess if we copy it as IDRSA, we don't need to do that. How about we try that? How about we see what happens there? I bet this will fail. Stat, no such file or directory. It's packages shared Docker. Packages shared Docker app. Yeah, all that should be fine. Maybe I need to, because here we copy yarn.lock, and I didn't change the working directory or anything. And yarn.lock should have been in the root of all of this. Right? Yeah, there it is. And the path I'm trying to, oh, maybe I need to type a dot slash. Oh, that doesn't make sense. Wait, copy has 3 arguments here. Oh, maybe multiple sources and one destination. I'm totally sure what I'm doing wrong here. Let's try this. I don't think this is going to do it either, though. No, it didn't. So I'm not in the folder I must think that I'm in, or something else is going wrong here. I want to find out. Where it thinks yarn.lock is, that's okay. That this can be copied correctly. And that packages/package name can be copied as well. Did I just type something wrong? I don't think so. If I do cd. Oh. I think I know now. I think since I'm running this from the overseer folder that this is wrong somehow. No, that doesn't make any sense. Docker ignore maybe? Oh yeah, you're right. Oh my god. Yeah, that's it. Okay, let's close out all these other tabs. I always forget about that. And I guess we need the full path to this. Packages, shared, Docker, app. Yeah, it's one of the biggest troubleshooting things that I always ran into with Docker. And I wrote it down over here because this vexed me for a while. Yeah, file didn't copy. Almost certainly because of this. Yeah. So the error I got was copy failed. You may copy fail. Yeah. All right, let's try that now. Oh, it worked. Okay. Does it pull? No. Okay, so now this is where I need to tell it to use this file correctly, and this is not good enough. I wonder if I need an SSH config in order to set this up so that it knows what key to use on which host. Because I think IDRSA should be fine for this. Could be permissions. Yeah, you're right, actually. I don't remember chmod for this, but we should see it. Oh, where did I write this? Guess we just look it up. Option. So I think it's 600 first, and then the other thing. Just find out if that's it. I just don't remember the order of the arguments right now. Yeah, I think that's it. Chmod command not found. That needs to be lowercase. No such file or directory. All right, we're gonna need to go into the machine. I think at this point, we also do run ls ssh to see what's in this. Do this really fast off screen to make sure nothing's going crazy. Yeah, it says no such file or directory. I wonder if I need to make that directory first. I wonder if this is even how this would work. I don't think I should have to do that. Now the ls step didn't fail, so I guess I did need to create that. But I still think nothing is probably going to... I'm gonna need to just connect to this image and see what's going on internally. So let's go try that. Yeah, so if I just comment all of this stuff out, and then I'll need to set... So this I forgot how to do. There's some way that we can set up our shell. I think it's via an entry point command. Yeah. Run as PID1. Entry point. Oh, you can specify this just via the command line if we need to. Bin shell. I think we need to use ash for this. Git config local. I can take a look at that too. So let me try building this. This should build. That shouldn't. Oh, I never saved. Okay, now it should build. There we go. Building a Docker image from Windows against a non-Windows Docker host. All files and directories of those permissions. Recommended double check and reset for sensitive files and directories. I don't think that should be a big deal since this is only going to run on my own machine. Maybe this might work. Yeah, I'll write that down too. So for what I want to do here, I now need to go try to run this image. Docker image ls, we should see the new one. There it is, Botland Overseer. Now I can try to run that. So this needs to be Botland Overseer. And its tag is 1129. Okay, so here we are. If I do an ls, we have nothing. If I go to this, we have nothing. No, there's the SSH folder. Let me go into this off screen. Yeah, there's nothing in here now. Okay, but what we can definitely tell is that tilde does not map to the home directory here. It's just a directory called tilde. Can someone tell me what he's doing? What I'm doing right now is I'm trying to clone a GitHub repo from inside of a Docker image that needs a certain SSH key in order to work here. So git config local add 4. Let me just look this up really fast. Yeah, I'll use full paths. Git clone with SSH key. Git clone config ssh.i. Yeah, I think this is what I should use. So makedir.ssh. We'll just copy it here, I guess. And then we need git, and then we need to run this. And that's where this will come in. Dash dash config. And this location to private key is going to be, I guess, app SSH RSA. That should work. It should use the SSH key provided in the home directory. We're not sure that this is actually the home directory. I mean, I guess we could have found out by just doing, how would we actually find out? All I ever know is going into the tilde as a home directory, pwd. I guess it did work for that, but it didn't seem to do that. I don't think this expansion works from inside of a Docker file, but /root is where it's supposed to be. So maybe we'll just try that. Make dir /root/SSH. This doesn't have an SSH folder, does it? It does, and that shouldn't have been something I just created, but maybe it was. Let's try this. Yeah, let's try this. How do I exit this? Okay, now what? It's still running, right? No, it's not. Okay. So I want to get back to building. Why are you trying to clone the repo inside of the Docker container instead of just copying files? The files I would copy would have even node modules and everything in it. Although I suppose I could clone into a new folder on my own machine and do it that way. That would definitely work. What? SSH not found? Okay. Do I need a comma in between these? Nope, just a space. Yeah, I can try that afterward. I think that's a good suggestion. Unsatisfiable constraints, SSH missing. Wait, what? Alpine Linux install SSH? It's probably like SSH-client or something. Let me see. Something like that. APK add SSH. I have that here, but I'm gonna just try client and see if that works. No. Okay, well, we'll have to go into this machine and find out, I guess. Yeah. Open SSH client, yeah, that might be it. Yeah. So Docker, I had some entry point. I copied it from somewhere. Here it is. So APK add SSH is what said it failed, right? Yep. And so if we say open SSH client, hey, we got it. Yeah, thank you both. Then we try running git clone. Does that work? Post key verification failed. Could not read from a remote repository. Yeah, I think what Lazy Guru said might be the best idea here is clone on my host and then run from that. But how would I do that? Because even running this stuff requires some packages. In which case, copying this over, I guess I could clone into just an empty repo and point it at that repo. I have not played Deus Ex, no. Yeah, this would work. I could just clone a new repo, the repo into a new folder and copy that entire folder over. And then I wouldn't need this, I wouldn't need anything extra here. But then what is my Docker file going to look like? Where's any copy command that I have? There it is. Yeah, so I would just need to specify where this goes. That would work, I guess. And we have an argument of package name. Where's that come from? Here, probably? Yep, there it is. So we could probably just specify like repo location. Yeah, let's do that. This represents a brand new cloned Botland repo from here. By doing this, we don't need to pull from within the Docker container, which was a pain due to needing Git, OpenSSH client, a private key, etc. So on GitHub, I should go delete that key that I just added. Where is my tab for GitHub for that? I don't have it open. Let's go find it. GitHub.com, botland, settings, there it is. And I should see deployment keys, there they are. I should be able to delete this. Delete, I understand. And it didn't have me tell me my password, that's fine. All right, so now the key is gone. So now we can just delete these off my hard drive. Who cares, goodbye. And then delete pretty much all this as well. So I want to clone into a brand new location, desktop, Dell, and then we'll just say like fresh Botland install or fresh Botland clone. And then we'll clone it into this. Where's the clone command? Here it is. Enter passphrase. I don't know what this is. Is it this? Hey, it is. Cool. All right. Let's just give it a sec. And it should be totally done. Now, why did that take so long? 100 megabytes. Why? That's coming from, oh, it's actually not coming from here. What? Is it from the GIF folder? It is, yeah, there's 70 megabytes in there. 4 years of work, that's why. I guess so. And then the client is contributing to a lot of this because of having images and sounds in here. Yeah. Okie dokie. Well, we got that now. So now I want to copy that into where it should end up on here. No LFS. Just wasn't a big enough deal for the amount of assets we had. Okay, so the repo location needs to be passed in via package.json over here. The repo location equals, and I guess we're going to copy this path with botland at the end. Maybe I shouldn't do that. Maybe I should not get the botland. No, it should just be the whole location. Okay. So now we have the repo location. Let's see if we can copy this into the machine. So instead of this making a directory over here, we have app, and that's where I want everything to end up, right? So I'm just going to copy everything there. Copy. Now, how do we use this? Yeah, just $ repo location /* into /. Just use. Do I ever use anything here? I think that might totally work. I just don't know why I don't ever do that. I probably have something on like use versus copy, but use is such a common word. User. Am I thinking of this correctly? Yeah, I was thinking run versus copy. Oh, or maybe you're responding to somebody else. Okay, so copy repo location, then who cares about this or this or this or this? We shouldn't need this. I'm just going to comment that out for now. And that's it. So now let's just have that run. All right, Does it work? I need to pass in dash. No, I don't. Dash dash build arg. I need to pass in dash dash build arg. Yeah, whoops. I missed one of these. Yeah, that should work. There we go. Now, no source files were specified. So I think we're not supposed to put a /* at the end. No such file or directory. Oh, do absolute paths not work for this? Because of whatever weird way this mounts, that I can't put a C colon in here. I need a dot at the end. I have // Is that not good enough? I think that's good enough because I think that's what I was doing over here. But yeah, I think the issue is how these paths work. And I think I'm probably supposed to do it like this, maybe? /C/users? No, that didn't work. All right, well, that was just a shot in the dark. I don't know how you're supposed to get to this then. Docker copy Windows absolute path. Docker copy from Ubuntu. I want. You can't reference a parent path. Oh. Okay. Has to be relative to the Docker file. Well, let's do something really stupid then. Let's see if we. No, wait, we wouldn't be able to do this then. Yeah, I was going to say we could make a really long relative path, but we actually can't because it's on a different drive altogether. So I would need to clone this into. Oh, this would be a nightmare if I really have to do that. To say clone it into something like this, and then just put it in a in a git ignore, another git repo within this. We could try it, test it with make link. Yeah, that'd be an easier way of doing it, I guess. But for now, let's just try it the Garbo way of doing it. So where did I put this? First of all, there it is. There. So now there's a botland directory within the botland directory. I could have deleted the whole .git thing, right? You don't need any of that. Put your Docker file in the repo you just cloned and copy everything from the repo into the Docker file. I can't even run the Docker file though without yarn because there's a variable expansion package that's needed. And by running yarn, then I'd end up with a node modules folder that I need to disable here. Oh, by the way, none of this will copy over, right? Because of my stupid Docker. Oh, this is such a pain. This is such a pain. Maybe we make a proper Docker ignore at this point. Then we just say to ignore .git and node modules. And then just delete the rest of this. And then in our git ignore file, we should ignore something called botland. That's not a good idea. We should call it something else. Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Where'd that even go? Oh my god. I don't even know. Oh no. I don't know where I put that folder. I thought it was in here. Oh yeah, here it is. Ooh. Okay. There's one layer too deep. So it's called botland here. We're going to say like botland fresh repo. That's what I'll call it. Okay, let's try this. Why do you need yarn to run Docker? I don't need it. It's just what I'm saying is like I have this. Where is it? Yeah, this. It pulled in the image repo and the package version because the way I have this structured is there's an account server, a game server, a matchmaker, and an overseer. And all of these use the shared Docker file. In order for that to happen, I need to parameterize what the image name and version is going to be. So like overseer at 1.1.29, for example, and matchmaker at whatever, I don't know, 1.2.3. Those are what's coming from here. And these are variables that can only be expanded if I have this package of cross-conf add. Otherwise, I would have needed 4 separate Docker files for that. Also, remember that this was all being done on Circle CI, and having Yarn was just no problem. So it's like there was no issue right up until this. So I think judging that there's a problem with that because I'm running into an issue now when my requirements have changed drastically is not totally a good idea. All right, so we got the copy repo location thing. Let's see if that actually works now. It appears to have just... Oh, maybe it's working. I don't think it should be that many megabytes. Yeah, pretty sure it should be. Yeah, I don't know what this is doing now. Oh wait, I saw the wrong page now. This was supposed to change. It's supposed to change to something like... Got it. I guess packages, shared app, Docker app. And then it's called Bot Land Fresh Repo. Start with a dot slash. Is this still sending? What is this process doing? Sending build context. I guess it has to every single time pull in that whole Git directory. Oh, hey, it actually worked there. Okay, let's try to run it. So now if I type ls, okay, we got all the packages. So cool. I mean, there's still more to do here. And the other thing is, I guess we can delete the .git folder from here to make this not take so long. And now whenever we run this, it's not going to have to copy as much stuff over. Not exactly, but that step will at least be faster. There's like 70 megabytes less to copy over. All right, so I got to write this down. So for building Docker images, so step 1 is clone the botland repo locally, paste it into this as botland fresh repo, so that like this exists as a path. Delete .git from inside that repo. Be blunted. All right, good. Now, no blunted I haven't yet. Now, and I'll post news when I have, because I think there are going to be a lot of people asking about that. Why not add a Docker ignore inside the repo so you don't have to then delete the Git later? Yeah, that's true. I actually had it here as .git. It's already hopefully being ignored. In fact, yeah, had I not done that, let's say we just Control Z this. Now I still have .git there. If I run this again, yeah, if I run this again, I was hoping it could at least cut down on this. I don't know how it exactly works, but that shouldn't have a massive impact. Oh, yeah, it does seem to. Yeah, there's a 70 megabyte difference here. So I guess cutting down on that will actually help, but I guess it's just a performance improvement. Because if I run this image now and I do an ls here, oh no, we do have a .git folder. What in the world is Docker ignore doing? Maybe, I don't know. Maybe there's another Docker ignore file somewhere. Oh, I'm just gonna delete it. Yeah, I'm just gonna delete it. I don't think it's worth having this on my hard drive anyway. All right, so we got that. Now what do we do? We get the code, got this. Maybe cut out the client's package.json if I don't need to build it. So something I want to write down for sure in my Docker notes, because this is something that was really helpful as I'm going through this. Writing Docker files. So quick guide. So one is this, which this doesn't actually do what I wanted it to do until you run the image. And the second thing is the entry point command. I think that's really good. Yeah. Dash entry point. Arguments will let you quickly jump into a shell. Note the shell's name may be Ash or Bash. You're cloning something inside the container, then does Docker ignore even do anything? Yeah, I'm not cloning anymore, like Lazy Guru said. It's just a copy command now. So maybe cut out the client's package if I don't need to build it. So okay, at this point, what can I do? I now have all the code and I wanted to run the rest of these steps that I had, which hopefully would work, but I would need certain things installed on this machine. And I have npx. So next up, I have to delete the lock file. And install yarn, which is probably not in this package, right? No, yarn is there. Oh, thank goodness. Okay. All right, we're making some progress. So delete the lock file. So run rm yarn.lock. And that should be in here. Yarn.lock. Yep, good. Cool. All right, so delete the lock file. Link everything. So run npx learn a link. Then what? Manually go into packages client and change intro.js to point to this other thing? Can we just delete the whole client folder? I feel like we can. I'm just gonna delete it all. Run rm packages / client. Probably -rf. Yeah. So delete the client entirely since it doesn't result in a Docker image. Remove the lock files so that we don't try fetching from a private repository. Now we're going to run into this as a problem. That sucks. We'll have to figure out what to do about that. Save space in the container. Yeah, I think I have a completely separate thing down here that then, I forgot what these things are called, but like a different layer altogether. But anyway, I don't remember. I'm not too concerned about saving space right now though, but I do appreciate the note because I might do that. Stages, that's what it is, yeah. All right, so link everything together so that it doesn't try fetching from a private repository. So this is another step here that we had. And then there was this, set up font awesome pro license. So if we didn't do this, so we can delete all of this. If we didn't do this, then we'll get an error for just this one step. We need to run yarn at some point, right? And run migrations. Do we need to do that? No, we should need to do that. We should just need to run yarn at some point. But we need this running in production mode. Yeah, build for production. That's where this is supposed to come in. Yeah, Buff Seagull. So I don't need any of this stuff anymore. Install all dependencies, including dev dependencies. I don't think that matters. Copy application code shouldn't matter. Build the application. Yarn build. Okay, fine. What else do we need to do? And then we had this from Node.js. Our package name. Curl is needed for health checks. Use your BL deploy. But we like copied everything over from build app dist. Oh man. And all I'm trying to do for this is just build like the overseer, I guess. So let's try what I have so far. This isn't going to work. I already know it's impossible for it to work because I never set up font awesome stuff. But if that's where it fails and I'm at least aware of what's going on. How did the interview go? I've got the today command kind of talks a little bit about that, but I think in general, I'll just answer here. Like it went well. I'm currently waiting to hear back from Google about the team matching phase. That's which I have several doc containers quite convenient. All right, these steps are going to take a very long time, I think, which is frustrating. But if this succeeds at least, then we made it a step farther than last time. And I'm not totally sure why this takes so long. Because I don't think it's supposed to. But even in my own steps, I wrote it down. Yeah, oh well. I think it worked. Then we did this, and now it said build not found. Because I'm not in any particular directory, that's why. Okay, so this is not really a problem. We could have just said workdir slash packages slash app packages. What showed up when I looked at this last? Yeah, app had the packages folder. Yeah, so we just go into overseer. And then we run yarn run build there. And this should speed through all those first steps. Yep. And what? That couldn't have run that fast. It definitely couldn't have run that fast. That doesn't make any sense. What's build doing? Just copy source to destination? Seriously? Oh yeah, I guess I could have run that fast then. Wow. This is lame. That's literally all this is doing. I probably should have looked into this. Oh man. Alright. What's the next step, I guess? We ended up with node modules, right? Did that actually work? No. It didn't. Because I never ran yarn. Wasn't I supposed to? I'm never gonna figure this out from this. Alright, let's look at that old Docker file. Where do we run yarn for that? Yarn build. How did we... Oh, install production only dependencies. Okay, I see. So we copied just the source over. Okay. So now we get to the arg package name part. Where's that? Here. And we need this from Node.js. Yep. Okay, so yarn build we're done with. Now we get to this. All right, what do we still need? So we get curl and htop. I have no idea why htop is in this thing. Probably for when I was testing something. We add a user BL deploy and the BL deploy group. We make a directory for them. We make an app folder there for them. Set node into production. Copy. What is this for? Copy only the package JSON and lock file. Check explanations from build stage for more details. And then run yarn on that. This won't work anymore. We'll need to copy everything because we won't be sure what code is needed and what isn't for any particular package unless I made specific Docker files for them. We also won't have a yarn lock file. I'm not totally sure any of this is important. Oh, it is. Okay, so we need to delete this. We need this over here on yarn production. So install dependencies. And then when we get down to this step, we need to copy everything from just the overseer folder. So how does this work? We want packages, package name, everything, just into dot. So copy everything from the specific package. Okay, install production only dependencies. We don't need to do this anymore. Clean the yarn cache. Would that be necessary? Shouldn't be necessary. None of these will do anything. Let's cut that out for now. Copy our application code. That would have been part of this, but all we would have needed would have been dist. So we can actually just type dist here and copy it to dist. Then we don't have node modules. No. No, we have to copy everything. That way we get node modules and the dist folder. Then delete a lock file. Yeah, that's pretty important, I guess. I don't think we need to run cache cleaning. I don't think we need this. I'm running Docker on Windows right now, yeah. All right, that should be it. Let's try it. I don't know. See how it goes. This will take a very long time, I think. This is what I expected originally to take a long time because I thought I was doing something that wasn't originally. These are all fine, by the way. I know it's showing in red, but it's not really a problem. But yeah, this will take a decent chunk of time. So delete the client folder. Yeah. So we cancel this. Change the build process. Then we need to ensure the build process works on all four endpoints. Hey, Hideo. I'm still trying to think whether this is all a mistake. Because I guess technically the easiest way to go about this is to just have pulled the whole code onto the VM and just run everything there and then fixed all the development to production issues that might show up. I think it'd be really hard to restart things in that case. My approach won't work due to package hoisting. Oh, goody. Oh, goody. So we're always going to need the root level node modules. It's failed at trying to remove yarn.lock. What a joke. We just run the whole thing. It should go almost instantaneously now through all the steps. And then I'll try running it, and like Hideo said, it should fail. There we go. So now let's try running it. And now I'm the right user. I've got some code. I don't see a dist folder. How did that go wrong? Yarn run build only job was to make a dist folder. It's not there. Copy source to dist, and then we copy everything in this package to dot. So there should have been a dist folder. You say to merge the root. Oh, and send and nested node modules. Okay, maybe in source. I don't think so. No. I don't know what happened there. Does node modules even have stuff in it? Yes, thank goodness. Although it's missing some things from the hoisted ones. Maybe it went up a directory? No. I don't know. Can we go into another user actually? Home, node. Nothing's in there. No one's home. There's no root. Sudo not found. SU root. Can I do that? Must be SUID. I don't even know what that means. I just type SU. I don't have permission to do that, right? And I don't have a password on this thing. Okay, well, it's not in here. I can clearly see that. So that means that this didn't do what it should have, or that this didn't do what it should have. But since node modules made it in, I assume this part's fine. I didn't delete a folder, did I? No. Was there anything else in the original file that I did for this? Well, it was a completely different process at that point. We did yarn run build, and then there's somehow we got the dist folder here from build. Okay, that wasn't there. Oh, we need to say we're copying it from the old stage. Oh. Oh. That's a very important thing that's missing. So how did any of this even work? How did I even get node modules there? I didn't run yarn over here. That doesn't make any sense. I don't know where it was copying from then. But okay, I guess that'll do something. And then we also need to copy the hoisted one. And that's an issue because I don't know how that's supposed to work. So we have a node modules there and we have a node modules there. And we need them both and we need them to somehow work. And Hideo said, you can't merge them. But why is it so bad if we merge them? Actually, for real, why is it so bad? Because this should have things like Lodash in it, right? Yeah, along with literally everything else. Good luck with the spaghetti nightmare you decided. No, Hideo, don't leave. Alright, yeah, maybe we should try a completely different method that isn't sucky. And if something crashes, then it crashes. Right. Yeah, have a nice day, Hideo. Okay, so there's a problem with getting hoisted node modules into the right spot. And without those, we won't have common dependencies like Lodash, etc. All right, well, we could take a totally different route here. Totally different. Guys, this is a cry for help, if anyone hasn't realized. Does it blink 3 times if I'm being held hostage? Okay, so maybe we back out of this whole thing. Am I still doing interview prep? No, 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 no. The job hunt command kind of sums this stuff up. And the today command talks about it a little bit too, although I guess I should link to the job hunt document from there. What about it? What? How did the interviews go, etc.? I answered all of this in my document. There we go. Okay. So here's what I think we do. I think plan A, we conclude that it was a massive failure. And plan B is going to be just clone the code on the production machine, run my steps, and then run everything. Can't see that text. Nothing's going to restart this though. I need to add in some PM2 stuff. A massive hexagon in your current code and you're trying to shove it into a nice and regular box, Docker. So just to be clear, everything's running right now on AWS in Docker. Like I have Docker images, all this is working, the build process was all working. But I'm trying to change a couple of little components that are making this very difficult. So I think at any given point, it seems like my problem is maybe somewhat basic here. But in this migration, there are actually several goals. One is like gut AWS entirely, which means the ECR, the load balancer, the database, that pretty much everything. And part of this is there's Verdaccio running for a private NPM registry. And then 2 is get it working on a single VM. So as part of gutting AWS, yeah, there's a lot of stuff I can't access anymore. And I'm running into some problems as part of that, I guess. So yeah, I think we changed tracks here completely. Current setup of Docker is flawed. Whole point of having stuff built and run in Docker is to have it be portable. It's pretty clear it's not. No, Nani, there's a couple of other issues that are happening here, which is, like I said, I'm cutting out other parts of this. If I had Verdaccio here, I wouldn't need to run these steps. I could just do yarn and it would work. But I don't have Verdaccio. And so that yarn process won't work. And getting it to work instead without that is either like put something up instead of Verdaccio, copy all the files that Verdaccio would have had, or like build as though I were going to publish, but then don't publish it. Hey, Fled. It all depends. He's working on the house. Yeah. And local VM. How are you going to keep that secure? Local VM. I'm not. Did I say local VM somewhere? I think I might have said the VM, but no, it's something in the cloud. Yeah, I can run an npm registry within the VM, but then I need to publish to that registry. And that's what I'm saying is like cutting this out makes my whole build process fail, which this was always something that was online and is still online to this day, but it's one of the things I want to stop paying for. Why did I choose not using Verdaccio? Just, I don't want to pay for it, that's all. Right now, Verdaccio is running on a Docker image in AWS. And I don't know how much money that costs, but let's say it's like $6 even. I just don't want to pay for it. I had that billing dashboard somewhere. I keep closing this, don't I? You'd think I would just not close it at some point if I know that I want to keep showing it to you guys. Let me pull this up for a third time. What we're going to find is that this is not a lot of money. I already know that. But I don't want to pay any amount of money for this. It is 120 divided by 7. So it's actually $17 apparently to run like a tiny Docker image for whatever it is, 730 hours per month on AWS. Why don't you just use GitHub packages for the private NPM registry? They're completely free. They're totally free? I thought they were only free for a certain amount of. No, no, no. It's not totally free. It's 500 megabytes of storage and 1 gigabyte of bandwidth, right? And if you stay within this, then it's free. I'm pretty sure. And granted, I probably would be within that, so I could switch to that. But I think at this point, I'm probably just gonna make a bunch of shortcuts and just get this working. Smacks, which video were you watching? Was it just a Twitch thing, or was it one of the like YouTube videos that I made? All right, so let's cancel out of this. Not sure if this is right, what you want. Oh, I could do this, Smurf. I just decided I didn't want to go that route. That's all. Yeah. Oh, Nani, I'm not saying there are no red flags here. I'm just saying that, like, it's not like I didn't have Docker and then I heard about Docker and I said like, oh, Docker is the answer. What I'm saying is like I'm already using Docker in production, and so I don't think of it as like there's a hexagon shaped box and I'm trying to fit this Docker into that. I mean, like Docker's already what I'm using. It's just there are some parts of my build process that now won't work if I'm going to cut out this whatever. I guess it was $17 a month. If you're already a pro user, you get 2 gigabytes of storage and 10 gigabytes of bandwidth. Yeah, I stopped paying for Pro though as well. I pretty much stopped paying for everything. Like my goal is really bring this down to 0 per month to host this. And the way that I'm accomplishing that is with these Azure credits that someone's giving me. So essentially, someone is saying to you, Adam, I'll write you a check for $100 a month. You can't spend more than that. So I'm technically saying that's that's me not paying money, but it's not exactly that. Probably the easiest is just run it directly on the host. I mean, yeah, that's probably what I'm gonna end up doing. I could run Verdaccio on Azure. Yeah, there are a lot of other solutions here that some of why I'm not considering it is because either it's going to make the build process longer, or that it's going to cost money, or that it's going to lock me into whatever platform I end up on. So if I get this to the point where it's like, hey, here's a VM, doesn't matter what cloud it's on, just just run these steps. I think that's kind of what I want to do at this point. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to cancel this too. We're going to cancel this. To figure out how I'll build and deploy everything. Cancel, cancel, cancel. We're going to say change tactics to just getting the code running on the VM directly. And then I'll need to figure out PM2 at some point for this. That way, if something does crash, which, like I said, the uptime of every single one of these endpoints, the last time I touched them was June 14th. They haven't crashed once since then. So I don't think they're ever going to crash. Their uptime was generally like pretty fantastic throughout the entirety of Botland. So running it in PM2 in case it crashes is probably fine. But I think it's more likely the VM crashes rather than one of my applications crashes. So yeah, we'll do this. This isn't to say that this became an easy task as a result of doing this, because one of the other things I was mentioning earlier is I had a lot of, where's this code? I have a lot of AWS specific stuff that's still happening here that I'm going to need to gut completely. I need to change some paradigms of how services ran in production. And I need to, at some point, get all of these environment variables, like passwords and, I don't know, database connection information. It's quite a lot of that. That's going to be fun. Yeah, I got to boot it up manually on the VM yesterday, actually. I just thought, oh, cool, we got that. Now let's make Docker images work again. So, yeah, yeah. I'll say yesterday, I already got this working, but I never exposed the services to the internet. So I would have to do that, but I'd have to only expose certain parts of it. I guess pretty much the client and the account server. You need to make sure I'm not accessing it through a load balancer for anything. So this still might not be worth the effort, Like, what I should probably say is that we'll spend maybe 3 or 4 days next week working on this, and maybe no more than like 15 hours. Maybe that's what I say. And if I can't get it working in 15 hours, it's probably just not worth it. Yeah. So I'll probably got everything I did here. Is there anything else that changed that's important? Not really. Oh, this one was though. Whoops, I never even checked this in. I should have. Well, this shouldn't be checked into this branch. It should be checked into a different branch. Doesn't matter. Technically, should have been checked into master, but I don't care at this point. Yeah. Okay. And we could push that if pushing even worked. Yeah. Yeah. So that's probably it for today. I guess I'll write myself a note not to spend more than like another 15 hours on this. So this is done. Conclusion. Doctor isn't worth the hassle for this. There are too many pieces I have to move around. I was probably close to getting this though. That's the other thing is maybe I gave up a tiny bit too soon. Because I think merging the node modules folders would have actually worked just fine. Like maybe it wouldn't have, but maybe it would have. Mantron, it might be a good idea for you. Uh, I think so. I've already got a machine set up, and I'm not paying any money for it, so I'll probably be fine with that. I don't think Hideo was trolling me. I think there is a good reason to not do that. I just don't know how far I was from getting this to work, and it might have just been copying like two different folders, and then everything would be fine. But yeah, let's try it without this, I guess. And yeah, there's still a lot more work. So I said I wanted to write this somewhere. So let's move this. Spend no more than 15 hours on this on the week of 9/7/20. Yeah. If I can't get it to like 90% complete by then, it won't be worth it. Now, what's the most likely thing that happens if I get this all running in that VM? We shut down AWS, stop paying money for that. I could probably turn off Verdace even now. Yeah, anyway, I'll pursue this again next week. So I think that's it for today. It's Friday. There's going to be no stream on Monday, and then Tuesday is the 5 year anniversary stream. I might not do anything special on this day. It might just be normal work. But yeah, I started streaming on September 8th, 2015. That'll be September 8th, 2020. Crazy, crazy, crazy. So let me go see if anyone's online I want to host. And man, I feel bad hosting people and then just bailing immediately. So I'll just let auto host pick it up. Yeah. All right. I'll see you guys later. Have a good weekend. See you on Tuesday. Bye, guys.